Well, hello. So you want to hear my story, Stand on the Green Dot, please. I'm going to read it to you. It's a short story that I wrote about something that I spotted during lockdown time when I went out into the shops. So sit tight and I'm going to read you this story now. Yeah, but people used to help each other better then, didn't they? The lady said. Her face mask muffled her words across the 1 metre space between her and the older man opposite her. Back when, I wondered, what period of time were they chatting shit about? I decided to argue with them in my head. I didn't live through the war, which is probably when they were referring to, but I think we've looked out for each other brilliantly in this pandemic. Kindness has definitely been cranked up a notch. Outside WH Smith, 3 pensioners greeted each other with an elbow bump, the new handshake. And they laughed. All wearing masks, their eyes showed their smiles, and the comical clumsiness of the funny bone touches looked like they were poking fun at our new normal. I knew it wasn't the case, but I felt amused by these incidences I'd witnessed in the past 30 seconds, and I felt I needed to write. Feeling a sense of duty as a life writer, I need to record these historical times for the future. For generations to come, as well as us, it's important to remember these moments and learn from them. Perhaps the entire point of life writing is to learn and get things less wrong moving on. Without any doubt, I'm happy in my lockdown bubble, and I'm even bold enough to say this might actually be the time of my life. But staying indoors means no new stories. So this trip out was instantly elongated with the decision to grab a vanilla latte in a white cup and saucer and get writing with my notebook and pen. I was wearing activewear, as they now call it, in preparation for a brisk walk home. As always, I was walking through Marks and Spencer's on deliberate purpose. I didn't like to dawdle. I'd chosen my best Lacoste trainers in preference to the Converse, which were even more covered in dust, plaster and one speck of emulsion. Between the toes and the arch was beginning to break, but they're comfortable and serving me well during the house renovations. This outfit seemed to talk to me, telling me to run up the escalator as if I was really fit. I felt stronger. Lockdown has been good for my fitness as we've walked for so far and so long. I touched the handrail. Oh crap, my son would kill me. Oh well, more hand sanitizer will be close by somewhere. Closed? The coffee shop was closed. What time will it open? I needed to write before I forget what's chasing around in my head. I considered asking Siri to take a note, but I figured my writing would get lost in translation. I needed a pen. Okay then, toilet and banking instead. It was 8:40 a.m. and surely 9 a.m. would be the opening time, I thought. So I followed the one-way system around the shop, passing a fabulous green, grassy coloured underwear set on a mannequin, and I wondered what colour I could wear over the top of that. A male worker walked close by, along the next aisle. He looked like he was from another part of Europe, although I clearly didn't look properly and I was wrong to assume. Morning, a lady called to him from behind me. Good morning, are you okay? He asked in a perfect Queen's English accent. He sounded handsome. Not that my head could ever be turned. The stainless steel handles into the toilet looked clean. You can't see viruses. There was no choice but to touch it, as it was closed. So many risks with all this touching. I mean, I'm pretty sure that cough, which started on February the 25th, was a rather dodgy one. Considering they diagnosed pneumonia and pleurisy right before they started testing people for coronavirus, if I had it, I survived it. I may be full of antibodies and possibly have some protection. They still aren't 100% sure of the immunology just yet. My son says it all depends which side of the bed I got out of as to if I want to have had it or not. That makes me laugh. My bed is against the wall as we renovate, so we are 100% in the had the virus camp. With more time to kill, I wandered into Sainsbury's while there was no queue. Ironically, we needed unrefined sugar, Pepsi Max and grated cheese. Heavy, considering I was walking home soon after writing. Tomorrow, face masks become compulsory. Today, I'm in the selfish no masker category, which I'd read about. I was going near to nobody and I used hand sanitizer at least 6 times this morning. But as I stood waiting for my Apple Pay to announce approved, the old habit of chewing off a bit of dry skin on my thumb took over automatically. Bugger. There was more risk than all the handle touching, daft moo. My back was beginning to hurt as the shops began to open. Once again, I walked past the lady with the mask who believed people used to help each other better. They were still chatting. I noticed her outfit. Blouse and skirt with 2 very different floral prints in very different colours. I felt I needed to look behind me to check if her mask also clashed the outfit further. It was one of the blue medical ones. A chubby-faced lady gave me a double look. That happens a lot. Fame at last? Ha! I must just have one of those faces that looks like someone else. Once again, they were the first in a long line outside a TUI shop. People's travels were severely disrupted. Pretty much no one had complained, as it's just how it is. Oh, there was a queue for the coffee shop. I needed to write more than I needed to skip standing for 5 minutes in the queue. We all distanced ourselves and waited until staff appeared and removed the signage blocking our way. They commanded the first couple of coffee lovers to walk forwards and stand on the green spot. I didn't want to embarrass myself and get that wrong. Dressed like this, with blonde curly hair, people sometimes stereotype me, just as the builder did yesterday, as I was talking about my science research to my daughter. "Look at you with all your big words. What, do you swallow the dictionary?" He laughed as he plastered my wall. That's okay though. I dropped a few H's while chatting to him, purposely for ease and his comfort. I paid attention to the green dots, but still the young lady controlling the queue made a stop sign with her hand and peered at me through her glasses. "When she moves off the dot, you can stand there," she pointed. I hoped I didn't make that face that Dad used to call that face. Me, my latte, my purple pen and my moleskin notebook settled in the far corner of the room. My shopping bags created a wall from anyone coming too close, and I could finally begin to write, just as I was obligated to do, right before the long walk home back to the safety of lockdown.